All right, today we're doing HYROX Anaheim 2025. I'm here with my little brother. This is my 4th HYROX. I did it with my roommate and then 2 other friends, and now I'm doing it with a family member. He is so prepared. Are you ready?
Yeah, so ready.
Yeah, he's not ready. We're not ready, but I'm gonna share the tips and tricks, things that I've learned while we do the competition. So let's get to the race. Now, before we start, what is HYROX? Well, HYROX stands for Hybrid Rockstar. It's a hybrid fitness event where you're going to run 8 kilometers, 1 kilometer at a time, with 1 fitness station in between. And all the fitness stations go like this: SkiErg, Sled Push, Sled Pull, Burpee broad jumps, rowing, farmer's carry, sandbag lunges, and finishing off with 100 wall balls. Okay, we are officially at the check-in area. We're gonna go get our athlete registration. Family's getting a spectator ticket. So, fun fact, I was supposed to do this with Desfit, another YouTuber, but he had to fly to Europe, so we're not doing it. So if you want to see me and him do a HYROX, comment down below. And if we get enough comments, we'll do it. If Des comments on this, then we'll do it. We'll see. Now, when it comes to checking in, they allow you to do that 90 minutes before your race. I recommend coming early because if you have to deal with parking and finding the venue, you want to be as safe as possible, and then head over to the warm-up area to practice all the movements and get your body ready to go. Now let the race begin. Every 10 minutes, they will send out a new, fresh group of HYROX athletes. So be prepared. You'll start in the Red Bull tent. They'll do some breath work, and they'll set you off with a 10-second countdown timer. And then the first station was SkiErg. Yeah, I think the transitions are super fast. You can easily switch and transition from each other. So like if you want to do 200 meters, you can do that. So we kind of just took it by ear and just switched off whenever we got semi-tired, but didn't push it too far. All right, SkiErgs. I just went for it. I only want to do this twice. So I did as much as I could. Got like 350. Keep the tempo strong. I might have gone a little too fast. The biggest thing here is use your torso to go down. You don't want to use your arms. So we're doing it. Now, because this is the first station, it's very easy to push it way too hard. So I always recommend take it way easier than you actually think you should. Keep a strong, consistent tempo. Make sure your hands are going straight up and down. A lot of people like to go outwards. You want to minimize that distance where you're going. Use your entire body to drive the SkiErg down, and then rotate every 250-ish meters. Because this station's easy to swap. Take that time and be able to swap easily to keep your heart rates low, and let the better runner finish last because their heart rate's going to be higher and you have to run together. So you want to make sure that you are able to run at the same speed.
Well, the running, I started getting a little tired, and then we got to the sled push, and then it's a lot. I haven't done that, so it was really heavy, and my legs were not really pushing too much, so it was kind of hard.
In the practice sled push, he was like, this is really hard. And I was like, wow, I'm actually so much weaker than I usually am. I haven't been lifting weights, doing a lot of marathon training, so I got scared. Keep your hips in line with your shoulders. That's going to maximize the efficiency of you pushing the sled. And there are multiple methods to doing the sled push. One is wrapping your arms around and kind of keeping your chin on that middle post. The second method is extending your arms fully. It's going to work your shoulders a little bit more. I like to switch between the two because you're using slightly different muscles, but this is going to be a very quad and glute intensive workout. Take breaks as needed. You don't want to push to the maximum, but push far enough, take a few seconds of a break, and then restart and keep going. Next was the sled pull.
Yeah, that one was a little bit better, but I was tired at this point, and my stomach, I had too much water, and I was starting to feel like throwing up.
Yeah, we drank a lot of water. I did feel a little nauseous. We took a lot of electrolytes and carbs, probably not the best idea. Sled pull, usually I can pull with one arm, and like I drive that entire sled super quickly and do it extremely fast. But once again, I was like, I'm extremely weak. My row strength is all gone. And I was like, I cannot pull this thing. And I started doing that deadlift variation, which is like you grab it and then you kind of drive with your hamstrings and your... Now, for most people, I think the best method is the walk back method, which is grab the rope and then walk back to the back line. Use your partner as a stopgap to prevent you from crossing the line because you get penalized. And then the second best method, I think, is the deadlift method, which is you grab the rope and you kind of do a deadlift motion to pull the sled back. The hardest method is just sit there and then do one hand over the other and pull the sled back. You really have to be very, very strong and stable to do that one. Today, I was very weak and I couldn't even do that version.
Yeah, and now I was getting like really tired from the running.
I've always been scared of burpees, but I think I am actually decently strong, got good hops, and then I usually do the step up method rather than the hop up method, and it just saves energy. Put your knee down, step one leg at a time, take it easy, and I think that makes it way easier. All right, so rule number 1, hands land by your feet. Rest on the bottom, and I'm already tired, this is killing me. Don't want to push it too hard on the burpees.
I also forgot to practice this, so I put my hands too far forward, and she got mad at me.
Yeah, you got to make sure you follow the rules. So we really just practice everything during the warm-up 30 minutes before.
Yeah, I was the only one who didn't practice.
once again, steady tempo. You want to stay at a nice threshold, consistent. You're not pushing this too hard, because if your heart rate goes too high, it's going to be very hard to run. Saving 10 seconds here could take away a minute from your run. So just stay consistent with it, and rest on the bottom. I would do the step up method, which is like rest the knee up and then slowly step up rather than hopping up. Just keep your heart rate as low as possible while keeping a consistent burpee broad jump, and then rest while just laying down on the floor. That's the best place to get your heart rate to reset.
This one was starting to feel a little bit better. Rowing's not too difficult.
Yeah, I think the bigger and taller you are, the easier rowing is. I've done a lot of rowing. Just on the row, you got to use your legs. People think it's your arms, but actually it's your quads. The burpees definitely got my chest tired, but I think the rowing, we're gonna feel good. I think like a 2-minute pace on the row, we'll feel fine. We don't need to go too fast. A little more than halfway done. We're doing well, but I'm dying on the runs. I am so out of shape. Lesson learned. Never do a HYROX without training. Bad idea. Communication is key, especially as you get into the later pieces. I started to notice that my brother got a little tired, so I was like, let me take on the second half and a greater portion of the row. I would say I'm a little stronger and about the same height, so I knew that my rowing is very easy. I can hold a consistent 155 2-minute pace and not push my heart rate too high. So I said, let me just take the last 700 meters. I told them that, but right before we got in, we communicated clearly. And this one is very hard to switch because you have to unhook your shoes. So I recommend, if you can, only switch once at this station and then gently jog into the next run.
Yeah, so then the run before Farmer's Carry, I was starting to feel good again. I burped a couple times before this, and I started not feeling like I was going to throw up. But then Shervin was tired for the running, so I was getting ready to run fast, but then he was tired. And then we got to the Farmer's Carry, and I was ready to go.
Farmer's Carry, I think we just have a genetic strength in our forearms. He was able to carry one lap, and then I did the second lap. When we ran, I was pretty surprised that he ran the entire thing. The only thing I would do is a T-turn, which is like, instead of like doing a classic turn going in front, you want to turn backwards. So I try to do that on every turn, and that just makes it faster. Light jog if you can. I know you might want to walk this one, but if you can, just do a light jog. Don't push it too fast, but steady pace, strong tempo, and then do the transitions anywhere but the turn, because at that point you're going to get in people's way. If you can transition in the middle of a certain length, it'll just make things that much easier so people don't run into you.
Yeah, so I was feeling good, and then we started doing the lunges, and then my hamstring started like killing, and I couldn't barely stand after a couple lunges.
My quads are currently toast. My quads are cramping up. I'm dying. Not easy. This is the hardest part of the race, I think. We have one run left. Wall balls, lunges will ruin your quads, especially with all the running and quad work we've done today. I'm dying. Let's get it. So at this point, my quads were cramping up, and I was like, you got to do more of the station, because for some reason I can't do lunges. My legs are getting tired, and he did a lot more. And then I tried to do some, and I just took bigger steps and really used my glutes to make sure I wasn't like taxing my quads, because I could feel them cramping up.
Yeah, I was trying not to stop and like keep the momentum going, but then my knee hit the ground, and I was like, oh God, I can't get up.
Yeah, you really got to make sure you tap your knee on the floor every time. And you can take a pause at the bottom. If you need breaks, take a pause at the bottom, not standing up. Transitions are key here. I think the best method is the ram your head into your partner's shoulder blades in the back and then hand off the sandbag. Make sure you're really communicating. That's the quickest and fastest method, in my opinion. Make sure you're tapping your knee on the floor, because if you don't, you're going to get time penalties or disqualification. And then the easiest and best time to transition, I think, is when you're outside of the lanes. Also making sure that you pick a lane where there aren't going to be other people next to you to kind of slow things down. If you're going pretty fast and you want to go fast and past people, just have that space. And the final station, wall balls.
Yeah, my legs were dying, so I couldn't get as low. I think I missed, the screen said 10, it wasn't low enough, and like 10 didn't hit the center of the board.
All right, we're on the wall balls, 100 wall balls. My calves are cramping up, I'm dying, but we're holding strong. This is it, the final countdown. I gotta push it all the way. And I was like, all right, we're gonna clock in, and I got like 40 wall balls, because he got in like 10 to 15, but like 5 of them were no reps. 90-degree right angle. I think the most common mistake here is you're gonna get no reps if you do not go low enough, and sometimes they'll bring a bucket that you have to like tap your butt on. Really make sure you get low enough. I like to sit so low that I'm tapping my elbows on my knees, and then make sure you hit the target. It's so easy to want to do this fast. It's more important to do it right. So don't rush things. Make sure you hit the target, make sure you sit low enough, and then swap as often as you need. You can just drop the ball, switch. It's gonna make things easier. And when you're running through the finish line, make sure that you're running through together and you're celebrating. Don't forget your celebration chant or pose as they take your photo as you cross the finish line. Get a selfie with your time. Don't forget that before you go and get your rehydration drink. Did it, 121, baby. Let's go. as you cross, as they take your photo, and then take a photo with your time in the background.
All right, post HYROX, you did it, your first HYROX, how do you feel?
Dead.
We did it, it was not easy. Definitely should train next time, I'm way out of shape. But that's a part of life, 121.16 I think. Good enough, good job. Whew. What was your overall thought? What did you like and what did you hate?
I hated the sled push, and I like the farmer's carry.
That was brutal. HYROX is never easy, no matter how strong you are. I'm fried, but that was a lot of fun. I feel good, I got the runner's high. And 121, it seems like I get slower in every HYROX. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to see future videos. My name is Shervin, shares on all the socials. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.